moving on with the foreground, working with the fan brush and some dark, some raw umber, some ultramarine blue, a bit black. And I'm going to indicate a few bushes, few plants right here, the front yard of this home. That's just the underpainting, just dark. I'm going to indicate a few more over here. And we're going to extend that. You know what? Maybe we drop a tree over here. Let's make some more dark. Maybe we drop a tree right here. Maybe a small tree. And some more vegetations and plants. Maybe with some raw umber and black, we drop one more tree here. I don't know, just the dark. We're gonna go ahead and highlight it later. Drop impression of snow. I haven't decided what to do with this side yet. I might drop a big tree over here. I haven't decided yet. I want this to be finished, the foreground to be finished, and then I see what works, what not. I think this tree works well over there. Maybe we don't see the whole window, maybe part of it. Right in front of that window, creating some mystery. And some more bushes over here. Maybe some more bushes since we have the dark. And just this is just the underpainting. This is just dark for it. And I'm going to pick up some raw umber. With some raw umber, we're going to indicate maybe a road here. At least some of the road that maybe the snow was removed or melted, whatever. So some of the road you may see. Put the road here, and the rest is going to be snow covered. And maybe I extend that right around here. Well, I'm going to pick up my mop brush. I'm going to pick up some ultramarine blue and add some of that raw umber and black to it. Make it dirty blue, dark blue. And I'm going to come here and drop in some indication of snow, and that's the shadow color for it. A bit lighter, maybe a bit lighter. Yeah, and we're gonna go ahead and highlight it with lighter value wherever we think the light from the window and the street lamp and the moonlight hitting these bushes. But I want to drop in the mid-tone first and establish some dark. And I'm just, tapping like that, leaving some dark in between, really random strokes. We're gonna have a street lamp over here, so a bit more ultramarine blue. I'm just mixing in some more paint, a bit raw umber, and we're gonna come here, same idea as all those trees. Just gonna go ahead and apply some impression of snow on these trees, making sure I leave some dark in between my mid-tone and highlights. And being mindful of the shape of the tree, how the tree is, situated over here. Alright, so applying the mid-tone for these trees and bushes. And I'm gonna bring in maybe another layer over here. Now I'm gonna add some more white to the same color that I was using, and I'm gonna come here and immediately next to the window apply some highlights. Now don't overdo this part because it's easy to get carried away and highlight everything. When you highlight most of the elements, then your painting looks overexposed and the highlights won't pop the way you want them to be. And by leaving some dark in between them, you can create illusion of, layers, maybe another bush in front of it. Making sure I leave some dark in between. And I'm gonna come over here and same idea. Maybe we have some bushes over here that are getting some snow. Just like that. Maybe some darker color, darker blue. Maybe some darker blue for back there as well. And we're going to come here and just apply a few highlights here, especially next to this window. I'm gonna go ahead and apply some, again, impression of snow with the mop brush. Right into the road, and I have the dark over here, so that works for me. And maybe right around there. And we're gonna go ahead and all the way back there and fade it away into the distance. And I'm gonna bring some umber and just mix with it. Fairly dark. No details in the back. Maybe right here a bit more detail, a bit more highlight rather. Some more bushes and some more, a bit more impression of snow down there. Just like that. Very impressionistically done. And kind of loose and create a mystery. Here we go. Now this is not the final highlight, we are still at the mid-tone level rather. But we're gonna have a street lamp here, so maybe somehow in the moonlight, maybe some highlights here a bit. This side. And same here. Now you could use a fan brush to indicate the highlights on these bushes and trees, because snow really takes the shape of the bush. So the way you do your normal highlights and stuff like that, you could go ahead and use a fan brush. Let's do a few with a fan brush. Let's pick up some blue, some white, and let's see what kind of a texture this is gonna create. Let's come over here, maybe here. And as you see, it creates a bit different texture. You know, it's really up to you. You know what you like, what kind of a texture you want to have in your painting. I recommend using different textures depending on the foreground, background, whatever. You don't want to have same brush stroke all over your painting. But this is another way, for example. Moving on with my mop brush. Just gonna go ahead, apply a few more highlights here, and just indicate, you know, impression of the snow on these bushes. Just tapping. When you press this brush against your palette, the bristles open up, and with a very light touch, you can indicate impression of foliage and stuff like that that maybe are covered with snow. And I'm going to bring in some more white. Still, I'm not using straight white for any of these highlights. I'm going to leave the straight white for the end of the painting, but I'm going to bring some white in here, some lighter blue rather, a bit more highlights here and there. I'm switching to a filbert brush, and we're going to continue here, dropping some underpainting for our foreground. I'm using raw umber and probably add a touch of black to it. For some darker value of it in certain areas. Coming in with some dark blue and even some black for underneath these bushes. Just dropping the dark. Just like so. Now I'm gonna transition that with a little bit darker blue. And even darker. So we have a nice transition right there, and just blend the whole thing together. Bringing in some black, and I'm gonna let it break as I apply it onto the canvas, and this will serve as some texture on the road. I'm gonna bring in some raw umber, same idea, gonna let it break. I'm using the side of the brush and just going like that, and as I do that, paint breaks, so I have paint on the side of my brush, and I just go ahead and run it smoothly on the canvas and creating some texture on the road. And I'm gonna go ahead and drop same idea over there, this side of the canvas. I went ahead and dropped the underpainting for this area as well. Same idea. And I'm gonna go ahead and highlight it. I'm using ultramarine blue and white. A bit darker in the corners. Not so much highlight here, but I want it to be a bit lighter in value. So for now, that's good. Now I'm gonna go ahead, pick up my mop brush. Some of that black, some of that blue. And we're gonna make it dirty blue. And we're gonna come here and continue dropping impression of some bushes over here and finish this area. Now I'm gonna go ahead and paint it fairly dark here. We don't want any highlights here. Just random strokes. Maybe a touch of highlights right around here, because that's in the foreground. I think we have the basic idea of the foreground, how it's gonna look like. We have two more elements left to paint. The street lamps. One supposed to be here, the other one I lost. I think it's supposed to be around here, if I'm not mistaken. And maybe a big tree here, but the basic idea is done. Now we have to go ahead and fine-tune everything. A little more highlights. Now I'm using different brush. As you see, I'm using a mop brush. You could experiment with different brushes, see what kind of a texture it gives you, which one you like better. Definitely the filbert brush has a sharp edge, so for certain areas, for example here, I think is more suitable. Something like that. But if you want to paint like a fluffy snow, I think this is also good, this brush. I've done a landscape with this brush. It's on the channel. I'm going to put a visual reference for you over here, and a link at the end of the video. You can go ahead and watch that video as well. I use mostly this brush for impression of snow. And of course you can use a large flat brush as well. Something like that. Bring some highlights around here. Maybe a bit more. We're gonna have the street lamp here, so, and the light from the house. Now the reflection of this light needs a little bit yellow added to it, added to the white. I'm gonna do that at the end, maybe next video or so. Just dropping the basic idea and right here for now. Still a lot of unknowns as far as the lighting of the landscape is considered, because I have to decide what else we're gonna add, so we will see. No rush. And some of my blue, some of my black. We're gonna come here and work underneath these trees and just blend it with the rest of the landscape. And we're gonna keep it fairly dark underneath those trees. Some impression of snow. Meeting the road over here, or the snowy part in the front yard. Here we go. Nice blend. Alright, so for now, the basic idea of the foreground is in place. The bushes, the road, and the snowy area. Of course, we need more highlights here. We need to finish a few more elements, but that's the basic idea that is in place. So I'm gonna go ahead and re-sketch my street lamps, and we're gonna do that, and we're gonna bring in a little bit more details in the foreground, a bit more highlights for the snow, maybe a few more elements, I don't know, a post, maybe a picket fence, whatever that we can add to this painting in the following videos. I really appreciate you joining me and viewing my videos, my channel, and I will catch you guys hopefully soon with another painting. Alright, see you next, and take care.